Before we had writing, cities, or even complex tools, there was gold. For thousands of years, humanity has been captivated by this rare, mysterious metal that shines like sunlight trapped in stone. Early humans found it just lying there in rivers and rocks already perfect. It didn't need to be melted or processed. It didn't rust, fade, or break. It just existed dazzling and seemingly eternal. Because of this, gold didn't start its journey as money. It began as a symbol. A symbol of beauty, spirituality, and something far greater than us. Ancient civilizations used gold for their most sacred objects and ceremonies. In Mesopotamia, it represented a direct connection to the gods. In ancient Egypt, it was believed to be the literal flesh of the gods, linked to the sun and eternal life. This is why pharaohs were buried with incredible gold masks, jewelry, and treasures. They believed this divine metal would guide them into the afterlife. This reverence wasn't just in one place. Across the world, gold was held in the highest esteem. In India, it became a cornerstone of tradition and a measure of prosperity. In China, it symbolized longevity and the emperor's absolute power. For the Mayans, Aztecs, and Incas of the Americas, gold was the sacred sweat of the sun, a divine gift, not something you'd use to buy bread. It was art, it was worship, it was magic. Then, around 600 BC, in the Kingdom of Lydia, a small territory in modern-day Turkey, everything changed. They created the world's first standardized gold coin. For the very first time, gold became money, a trusted, portable, and universally accepted medium of exchange. In that moment, gold's destiny shifted. It transformed from a sacred symbol into a powerful tool of economics and empire. Empires would rise and fall on its back. Armies would be funded by it, and nations would wage devastating wars to control its supply. Gold was no longer just a beautiful metal. It had become the foundation of civilization itself. As humanity sailed into the age of exploration, gold became the fuel for global expansion. European kingdoms were desperate for precious metals to grow their economies, fund their massive armies, and project their power across the world. This desperate need for wealth ignited the great maritime voyages that would remap the planet. When European explorers reached the Americas, they didn't just find new lands. They found civilizations rich with gold. Enormous quantities of this sacred metal, which had been crafted into stunning art and religious artifacts, were taken, melted down, and shipped back to Europe. This massive influx of gold enriched empires like Spain and Portugal on an unprecedented scale. This continuous flow of treasure from the New World completely transformed Europe's economy. In fact, so much gold flooded the market that it triggered what historians call the price revolution, an early massive wave of inflation. Suddenly, there was more money but the same amount of goods, causing prices to skyrocket. Later in the 18th century, Brazil emerged as the world's largest gold producer. The gold rush there fundamentally shaped its culture and history, especially in the region that is still known today as Minas Gerais, or General Mines. As global trade routes expanded, gold became the ultimate anchor of trust and stability. Nations began minting their own gold coins and stockpiling the metal in heavily guarded vaults as a physical proof of their economic strength. This thinking gave rise to the gold standard, a system where a country's paper money was directly backed by and could be exchanged for real gold. In the 19th century, this system allowed the United Kingdom to dominate global finance. London became the undisputed center of world trade, and the gold-backed pound sterling brought an era of relative economic stability and growth. But the 20th century would shake this golden foundation to its core. The unimaginable costs of the world wars and the economic collapse of the Great Depression forced countries to abandon the gold standard. They needed to print more money to fund their efforts, and they could undo that if every note had to be backed by a finite amount of gold. After World War II, the world's leaders tried to rebuild. The Bretton Woods Agreement was signed, creating a new system. This time, all major currencies were pegged to the US dollar, and the dollar itself was backed by gold at a fixed rate of $35 per ounce. For a while it worked. The world economy recovered. But this too came to an end. In 1971, President Nixon made a stunning announcement. The United States would no longer convert its dollars into gold. This decision effectively shattered the global gold standard. Many thought this would be the end of gold's relevance. But they were wrong. Instead of fading away, gold became more valuable and more sought after than ever before. It had completed its next transformation. From the backbone of currency to a global safe haven, the one asset people instinctively run to during crisis, inflation, and uncertainty. After 1971, the world's money became fiat currency paper, backed by nothing more than trust in the governments that issue it. But as we all know, trust can be fragile. In times of economic turmoil, political instability, or soaring inflation, that trust is tested. And time again, when that trust wavers, people return to the one thing that has held its value for 6,000 years: gold. The numbers speak for themselves. From its fixed price of $35 an ounce in 1971, gold's value has skyrocketed. It shot past $400 in the 2000s, surged above $1,800 during financial crises, and has even surpassed $2,000 an ounce in recent years. Gold has repeatedly proven that it holds its value, especially when paper currencies lose theirs. So why does gold remain so powerful in our modern age? First, it's rare. All the gold ever mined could fit into just a few Olympic-sized swimming pools. Second, it doesn't corrode or decay. The gold from an ancient Egyptian tomb is just as pure and brilliant today as it was thousands of years ago. Third, it cannot be artificially created or printed out of thin air, unlike money. Fourth, it's recognized and valued globally in every culture. And finally, it has an unmatched 6,000-year history as a reliable store of value. But gold's story doesn't end there. It's also a critical component in our most advanced technology. It's in your smartphone, in the satellites orbiting our planet, in life-saving medical equipment, and in aerospace engineering. Its unique properties make it irreplaceable in many high-tech applications. Gold has even evolved with modern finance. Today, you don't need to buy a physical bar to invest in it. You can own gold through ETFs, digital certificates, and even tokenized gold on the blockchain, blending the world's oldest asset with its newest technology. And what about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, often called digital gold? While they share some characteristics, they serve very different purposes. Bitcoin is new, volatile, and speculative. Gold is stable, proven, and universally trusted for millennia. They aren't really competitors. They are different assets for different goals. Perhaps the most telling sign of gold's enduring power is this. Right now, central banks around the world are buying gold at a historic pace. Countries are quietly adding massive amounts to their national reserves. This isn't a nostalgic act. It's a strategic move, a clear signal that in an uncertain world, gold is still seen as the ultimate form of financial security. As we move deeper into a future of artificial intelligence, digital currencies, and global change, one truth remains constant. Technologies will change. Currencies will change, empires will rise and fall, but gold remains. Untouched by time, unbroken by chaos, and eternally valuable. The light that shines from it today is the very same shine that captivated our ancestors thousands of years ago, a timeless symbol of permanence in a world that is always changing. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through history fascinating, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.